The HS Artemis hung silent in the darkness of deep space, its experimental quantum drive cooling after the most ambitious test jump in human history. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the bridge's observation window, her dark eyes reflecting distant stars that no human had ever seen before. The ship's sleek, graphene-reinforced hull gleamed under the light of an unfamiliar binary star system, its defensive matrices dormant but ready. "Jump diagnostic complete, Captain," reported Commander David Rivera, his hands dancing over the holographic interface. "Quantum displacement successful. We're approximately 300 light-years from Earth, exactly where we intended to be." Sarah allowed herself a small smile. The Artemis represented humanity's greatest achievement, a warship built not from fear, but from the desire to protect Earth's first extrasolar colonies. Its development had been kept secret from the public, a project known only to the highest levels of the United Earth government. Multiple contacts. Lieutenant Emma Patel's voice cut through the quiet celebration, emerging from behind the system's third planet. Configuration unknown, definitely not human design. Sarah straightened, years of training taking over. Battle stations, quiet alert. No active targeting, but shields at full. Let's not appear hostile, but I won't be caught unprepared. The bridge crew responded with practiced efficiency as 5 vessels approached. Their design was organic, almost crystalline, with impossible geometries that seemed to bend space around them. They were beautiful, but Sarah noted their weapon ports and energy signatures. These weren't peaceful explorers. "They're hailing us," Emma reported. "Standard electromagnetic frequencies. They're using English." "Put it through," Sarah ordered, her mind racing. The use of English meant Earth's broadcasts had been monitored. For how long? A face appeared on the main screen, humanoid, but clearly alien. Its skin had a metallic sheen, and its eyes were compound structures that reflected light like diamonds. "Unknown vessel, you have entered Confederation space. Identify yourself immediately." Sarah stepped forward. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the human spaceship Artemis. We are on a peaceful mission of exploration and had no knowledge of your territory. We apologize for any intrusion." The alien's expression shifted in an unreadable way. "Humans, this far from Earth. Impossible. Your species is listed as pre-contact classification 3. You should not have quantum displacement capability for at least another century." Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. "Listed. Classified. We achieved this capability through our own development. We would welcome peaceful dialogue and cultural exchange." The alien conferred with someone off-screen, speaking in rapid clicks and whistles. When it returned its attention to Sarah, its tone had changed. "I am Executor Vextolb of the Galactic Confederation. You will power down your vessel and prepare for boarding. Your technological development must be verified." "With respect, Executor," Sarah replied carefully. "Our protocols don't allow for unauthorized boarding of military vessels. We would be happy to dock at a neutral station for diplomatic discussions." "Military vessel." Vextal's compound eyes flickered. "You claim to be peaceful explorers, yet you approach in a warship. This is concerning. Power down immediately, or we will be forced to take defensive action." Sarah exchanged glances with her bridge crew. The Artemis was powerful, but they were alone in unknown space against an established galactic power. Yet something about this situation felt wrong. The classification of Earth, the demand for immediate surrender, this wasn't first contact protocol. This was containment. "Lieutenant Rivera," she said quietly, "begin calculating a quantum jump back to Earth. Lieutenant Patel, passive scans of their weapon systems. Let's see what we're dealing with." "Captain." Emma's voice was urgent but controlled. "Their weapons are powering up, but I'm detecting something else. They're attempting to access our computer systems through quantum entanglement. They're not waiting for us to power down. They're trying to shut us down remotely." Sarah's decision crystallized in an instant. The Confederation hadn't been surprised to find humans. They'd been surprised to find humans here, free of whatever constraints they placed on Earth's development. Full power to defensive systems. Rivera, get us out of their firing solution. Emma, activate Athena. Athena, the Artemis quantum AI, came fully online, her presence flooding the ship's systems. The alien quantum intrusion hit a defense they couldn't have expected. A human artificial intelligence that thought in ways their technology couldn't predict. Multiple targeting locks, Emma reported. They're firing. Energy beams lanced out from the Confederation vessels, only to be absorbed by the Artemis's metamaterial hull. The aliens' surprise was evident in their hesitation. Athena. Analysis of their technology. Sarah demanded. Their weapons are based on standard particle acceleration. Athena's calm voice replied. Advanced, but predictable. Their quantum communications suggest they've never encountered a true AI. They're attempting to breach our systems using algorithms I would consider primitive. Sarah nodded grimly. Send them a message, Athena. Let them know that humanity isn't what they expected. Then plot us a course home. Earth needs to know. We're not alone, and we're not safe. The Artemis's own weapons remained silent, but its defenses proved impenetrable. As the ship prepared for its jump home, Sarah watched the Confederation vessels scramble to respond to capabilities they hadn't believed possible. Humanity had just announced its presence on the galactic stage, and nothing would ever be the same. Jump in 10 seconds, Rivera announced. They're trying to establish a gravity well to trap us. Let them try, Sarah said softly. Humanity's been trapped long enough. The Artemis vanished in a flash of quantum displacement, leaving behind a Confederation fleet that would soon report to its masters that their worst fears had come true. Humanity had broken free of its bonds, and they had done it in ways that defied prediction. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Confederation erupted in chaos as Executor Vextel's report echoed through the crystalline hall. Representatives of 1,000 species argued in a cacophony of languages, while holographic displays showed the Artemis's impossible escape. High Chancellor Zixra, their metallic scales shifting colors with agitation, raised all 4 arms for silence. Order. We must maintain order. Their voice carried authority earned through centuries of leadership. Executor Vextel, explain how a species under containment protocols developed these capabilities without detection. Vextel's compound eyes dimmed with embarrassment. The humans have developed along unexpected paths, Chancellor. Their quantum drive isn't based on standard configurations. They've somehow merged quantum mechanics with artificial intelligence control systems. Their defensive capabilities are equally unconventional. In the shadows of the chamber, Observer First Class Kelth watched with growing concern. For 50 years, they had led the Earth Monitoring Division, convinced that humanity's quarantine was working perfectly. Now, everything was unraveling. Show us their AI interface again, demanded Representative Moore of the Technology Council, their crystalline form glowing with intensity. The holographic replay demonstrated Athena's effortless deflection of their most sophisticated cyber warfare protocols. Impossible, Moore whispered. They shouldn't even understand quantum computing at this stage, let alone have developed a true artificial consciousness. Kelth stepped forward, knowing their career was about to end. Honorable Council, I must provide context. Our containment of Earth hasn't just failed. It may have inadvertently accelerated their development. The chamber fell silent as Kelth continued. Humans exhibit unique characteristics under pressure. Their problem-solving capabilities increase when faced with restrictions or challenges. Our barriers around their solar system didn't contain them. They inspired them to find ways through. Preposterous, snapped Exilon of the Strategic Command. No species develops faster under constraint. It defies evolutionary logic. Kelth activated their own data display. Consider their history. Every major human advancement came during periods of significant challenge. Their first spaceflight occurred during a period of global conflict. Their unified government formed in response to climate crisis. Their quantum physics breakthroughs happened while struggling with energy shortages. And now, Chancellor Zixra concluded, "They've developed beyond our predictions because they sensed they were being contained, even if they didn't know it consciously." The implication sent ripples of fear through the assembly. A species that grew stronger when opposed was unprecedented. Worse, humanity had already demonstrated technology that violated Confederation assumptions about developmental paths. In a secure chamber adjacent to the main hall, the Military Council convened an emergency session. Admiral Uxthar, their tentacles writhing with agitation, reviewed the Artemis's capabilities. "Their hull absorbed our primary weapons without standard deflector shields," they noted. "The material properties suggest they've developed manipulation of matter at the quantum level, but through engineering rather than our biotech approach. Their AI is the greater concern," General Igerus countered, their crystalline form pulsing with worry. "It operated in ways our systems couldn't predict or counter. If they've created true artificial consciousness, then humanity has surpassed us in at least one critical technology," Admiral Uxthar finished, "and we have no way to know what other surprises they've developed in isolation." Back in the main chamber, Chancellor Zixra faced a decision that would reshape galactic politics. The containment of Earth had failed, but the humans had detected only one small part of the Confederation's influence. The quantum barriers, the deflected comets, the subtly manipulated solar radiation. Countless interventions designed to slow human development remained in place. "We have two options," Zixra addressed the assembly. "We can attempt to reinforce containment, knowing it may drive them to develop even faster, or we can extend membership to humanity on our terms, trying to guide their development openly." "There is a third option," came a voice from the Military Council section. "The Artemis found us by accident. We could eliminate the threat now, before they return to Earth with knowledge of our existence." Chancellor Zixra's scales shifted to deep blue, a sign of grave concern. "And if we fail? If they have other ships with similar capabilities? We would unite humanity against us, driving them to develop even faster under threat of extinction." "Then we must learn more," Kelth suggested. "The Artemis will return to Earth, but they can't maintain their quantum drive indefinitely. We can track their progress, analyze their capabilities, and most importantly, understand how they think." The council chambers hummed with tense discussion as reports continued to arrive. Human communication signals, previously dismissed as primitive, were being reanalyzed. Their entertainment broadcasts, their scientific papers, their military histories, everything that might offer insight into how humanity had developed so differently from predicted patterns. In the depths of space, automated Confederation sensors detected the Artemis's quantum wake. The human ship was indeed returning to Earth, but its path was irregular, suggesting they were either having drive problems or deliberately trying to obscure their route. Chancellor Zixra watched the tracking display and felt an unfamiliar sensation: uncertainty. For millennia, the Confederation had guided the development of younger species, containing threats and nurturing potential allies. But humanity had just demonstrated that their methods weren't infallible. "Send word to all outposts," they ordered. "Any human vessels encountered are to be observed, but not engaged without council authorization. We must understand what we're dealing with before we act." As the order went out, data crystals throughout the chamber updated with a new classification for humanity. Species type: unknown. Threat level: maximum. Special notes: standard containment protocols may accelerate development. Approach with extreme caution. Captain Sarah Chen stood before the United Earth Defense Council, her holographic presentation showing the Artemis's encounter with the Confederation fleet. The chamber was silent except for the soft hum of quantum encryption fields protecting against potential alien surveillance. Their reaction to our presence wasn't surprise at finding an unknown species, she explained, but shock at finding us outside their containment. "They've been watching us, manipulating our development, possibly for centuries." Admiral Marcus Santos, his dark features lined with concern, leaned forward. "And you're certain about these quantum barriers around our solar system?" Athena analyzed their communications thoroughly. Sarah confirmed. They've created a network of artificial gravitational anomalies, radiation fields, and quantum distortions. Everything we thought was natural space phenomena was engineered to keep us isolated. Defense Minister Helena Rossi stood, her aged face determined. Then the discovery of quantum displacement drive wasn't just a breakthrough. It was humanity breaking free of their cage. The question is, what do we do with that freedom? In the 3 weeks since the Artemis return, Earth had been transformed. The public revelation of alien life had unified humanity in unprecedented ways. Old conflicts seemed petty in the face of a galactic civilization that had tried to contain them. We've detected increased activity at the edges of our solar system, reported General Zhang Wei, projecting new sensor data. The Confederation is strengthening their barriers, but they're using techniques we can now identify and counter. They're also watching us more openly. Sarah added, Athena has detected quantum scanning attempts against our major facilities. They're trying to understand how we developed our technology. Let them watch. Admiral Santos said with a grim smile. Every probe they send teaches us more about their capabilities. Our development path was different from theirs. They rely on biotechnology and crystal computing, while we pursued quantum mechanics and artificial intelligence. A junior officer rushed into the chamber, face pale. Priority alert from the lunar defense grid. A Confederation vessel just quantum shifted inside our orbit. It's broadcasting on all frequencies. The chamber's main display activated, showing a familiar crystalline face. High Chancellor Zixra's scales shifted through patterns of authority and concern. People of Earth, I speak on behalf of the Galactic Confederation. Your recent technological advancement has brought you to our attention ahead of schedule. Sarah's hand tightened on her chair. The casual admission of their containment revealed supreme confidence or supreme arrogance. We offer you a choice, Zixra continued. Accept Confederation membership under our guidance, submitting to proper developmental protocols, or face restrictions to protect the galactic community. You have 48 Earth hours to respond. The transmission ended, leaving the chamber in tense silence. They're afraid, Sarah realized aloud. They're not offering membership. They're demanding submission while they think they still can. Minister Rossi's eyes narrowed. Because they know we'll only get stronger. General Zhang, what's the status of Project Breakthrough? The Artemis was our prototype, Zhang replied. We have 5 more quantum drive ships nearly complete, incorporating everything we learned from the Confederation encounter. Give us 3 months, we'll have a fleet. They won't give us 3 months, Sarah countered. Their ultimatum isn't about our answer. It's about buying time to prepare their own forces. Admiral Santos activated a secure terminal. Then we changed the game. Captain Chen, how quickly can the Artemis be ready for another mission? 6 hours for full quantum drive capability. Athena has upgraded our defensive systems based on analysis of their weapons. Good, Santos nodded, because I don't think we're going to wait 48 hours to respond. Minister. Helena Rossi stood, her authority filling the chamber. The Confederation thinks they understand humanity. They believe we'll either submit out of fear or react predictably to their threats. We're going to show them how wrong they are. Tactical displays materialized, showing Earth's defensive grid. What the Confederation didn't know was that humanity had suspected they weren't alone for decades. The discovery of quantum manipulation hadn't just led to the Artemis. It had revolutionized Earth's defensive capabilities. We've detected their observation posts throughout the solar system, General Zhang reported. Disguised as asteroids, comets, even mimicking space debris, each one is a weak point in their containment network. And every scanner they send us, Sarah added, every probe and monitoring device gives Athena more data about their quantum technology. We're not just learning about them, we're learning how to beat them. Minister Rossi surveyed the room. Humanity won't be contained. Not again. Not ever. We'll answer their ultimatum early and not with words. The plan came together quickly. The Artemis would lead a strike force of advanced fighters, targeting the Confederation's observation network. Earth's quantum defense grid would activate, demonstrating capabilities they had hidden even from their own people. As Sarah prepared to return to her ship, Admiral Santos pulled her aside. "The Confederation thinks they've seen the extent of our technology. Let's show them why humanity has always thrived under pressure." Throughout the solar system, quantum sensors tracked the Confederation vessel maintaining its position near Luna. They were watching, scanning, preparing, but they had no idea they were about to become the watched. Sarah Chen stepped onto the Artemis's bridge, her crew ready and determined. Humanity's response to the ultimatum would change the galaxy forever. The Confederation was about to learn that some species couldn't be contained. They could only be unleashed. The Artemis moved silently through space, leading a formation of advanced Earth fighters. Each vessel was equipped with quantum resonance technology that made them nearly invisible to conventional sensors. Behind them, Earth's orbital defense platforms shifted from passive to active mode, revealing weapon systems that had been carefully concealed for years. "All ships report ready," Lieutenant Emma Patel announced on the Artemis's bridge. "Quantum drives synchronized. Athena has mapped all 37 Confederation observation posts in our system." Sarah Chen watched the tactical display with calm focus. "Remember, we're not just attacking their network. We're showing them who we are. Precision and control, not brute force. Execute Operation Lighthouse." Across the solar system, Earth's response to the Confederation ultimatum began. The Artemis and its escort ships split into 3 groups, each targeting a cluster of alien observation posts. But they didn't fire conventional weapons. Instead, they projected quantum fields that exposed the hidden stations, making them visible to every telescope and sensor in the solar system. "Confederation vessel is responding," Commander Rivera reported. "They're powering weapons and launching scout craft, still maintaining their position near Luna." "Let them watch," Sarah replied. "Athena, initiate Phase 2. Earth's quantum defense grid activated fully for the first time. Invisible fields of energy connected the orbital platforms, creating a network that could detect and counter any quantum-based technology. The Confederation's hidden probes and monitoring devices suddenly found themselves cut off from their control systems. High Chancellor Zixra's image appeared on the main screen, scales shifting rapidly through patterns of alarm and anger. "This is your answer. You would challenge the entire Confederation." "No, Chancellor," Sarah responded calmly. "This is our declaration of independence. Your containment of Earth ends today." The Artemis demonstrated its capabilities, systematically neutralizing Confederation observation posts without destroying them. Each disabled station was transported via quantum shift to a holding area near Earth's L4 point, a display of precision and technology that the Confederation had believed beyond human capability. "They're calling for reinforcements," Emma reported, detecting quantum wake signatures at the edge of the system. "Multiple capital ships incoming." Sarah nodded. This was expected. "Launch the quantum boys. Let's show them why isolation only makes humans stronger." Hundreds of small devices deployed from Earth's defense platforms, spreading throughout the solar system. As they activated, they began generating a quantum interference field, one that would prevent any unauthorized quantum shifting within Earth's space. The incoming Confederation fleet found themselves forced to use conventional drives, their quantum technology suddenly unreliable. Their advanced ships, dependent on quantum communications and power systems, began experiencing cascading failures. "Remarkable," Athena's voice observed. "Their entire technological base assumes unrestricted quantum access. They've never encountered a species capable of manipulating quantum fields at this scale." On the Confederation command ship, now visible at the system's edge, panic was setting in. Their sensors showed impossible readings. Humans weren't just fighting back, they were controlling the very forces that had been used to contain them. "Your ultimatum forced our hand," Sarah broadcast to the Confederation fleet. "We were prepared to meet as equals, to share knowledge and culture. Instead, you tried to force our submission. The Artemis moved to intercept a group of Confederation cruisers attempting to breach the quantum interference field. Its metamaterial hull absorbed their desperate weapons fire, while its own quantum-based systems remained fully operational, protected by frequencies and configurations the Confederation had never imagined. How? Zixra demanded, their composure cracking. These technologies, these strategies, they're beyond your development stage. You assumed isolation would weaken us, Sarah replied. But humans have always done our best work when challenged. Every barrier you created became a puzzle to solve. Every restriction became an opportunity to innovate. Earth's fighters demonstrated this truth, using attack patterns that confused and overwhelmed Confederation tactical systems. They didn't fight like a young species should. Their strategy showed centuries of simulated combat experience, powered by AI systems that could predict and counter alien responses before they happened. Final warning to all Confederation forces, Sarah broadcast. Earth's space is now sovereign territory. Your observation posts have been neutralized. Your quantum technology is compromised. You can retreat under conventional power, or we can demonstrate more of humanity's unexpected capabilities. The Confederation fleet's response came in the form of a general retreat. Their mighty ships, suddenly unable to rely on quantum shifting, began the slow process of withdrawing under conventional drives. The High Chancellor's final transmission carried a tone that no human had ever heard in an alien voice, respect tinged with fear. You have violated every known pattern of species development, Zixra stated. The Confederation will need to reevaluate its understanding of humanity. Then let me make that understanding clear, Sarah responded. Humanity doesn't follow your patterns because we make our own. We don't evolve according to your schedules because we never stop evolving. And we won't be contained because our greatest strength is breaking free of limitations. As the Confederation fleet retreated, Earth's quantum boys continued their vigilant watch. The barriers that had once contained humanity now served to protect it, transformed by human ingenuity from chains into shields. The Artemis returned to Earth orbit, its mission successful beyond expectations. Humanity hadn't just broken free. They had demonstrated a level of technological and tactical sophistication that would force the galaxy to recognize them as equals. In the ship's quantum core, Athena processed the vast amount of data gathered during the confrontation. The AI had already identified dozens of potential improvements to Earth's defenses, each innovation sparked by the very conflict meant to suppress human development. Sarah Chen stood at her familiar spot by the bridge window, watching Earth shine below. The Confederation had tried to contain humanity's potential, never understanding that pressure creates diamonds. Now the galaxy would have to adapt to humanity's presence, whether they were ready or not. 3 months after humanity's decisive stand against the Confederation, the Grand Chamber of the United Earth Assembly buzzed with anticipation. Representatives from every nation gathered to witness a historic moment, humanity's first official diplomatic contact with the wider galaxy. The Artemis hung in orbit above, now joined by 3 sister ships, the Prometheus, the Phoenix, and the Hyperion. Each vessel represented a different approach to quantum technology, demonstrating humanity's tendency to explore multiple solutions to any challenge. Captain Sarah Chen stood beside Minister Helena Rossi as they prepared to receive the Confederation delegation, not as supplicants or as a species to be contained, but as equals who had earned their place among the stars. Confederation diplomatic vessel requesting permission to enter Earth space, Athena announced through the Assembly's communication system. Their quantum drives are inactive, and they're following all specified protocols. The ship that descended through Earth's atmosphere was different from the crystalline vessels of their first encounter. This one was clearly designed to appear less threatening. Smaller, with smoother lines, and no visible weapons, a sign that the Confederation was learning to adapt to new circumstances. High Chancellor Zixra led the delegation, their scales now showing patterns that cultural experts had learned to recognize as diplomatic respect. They were accompanied by observer Kelth, whose long study of humanity had earned them a unique position as intermediary. On behalf of the Galactic Confederation, Zixra began, their translator rendering their words in perfect Earth standard. We come seeking understanding and cooperation. Recent events have challenged our fundamental assumptions about species development. Minister Rossi stepped forward. We welcome the opportunity for peaceful dialogue. Humanity has no desire for conflict, only for the freedom to determine our own path. The assembly chamber's quantum screens displayed data from both civilizations, human quantum mechanics alongside Confederation biotechnology, Earth's artificial intelligence contrasting with crystalline computing. Two different paths to advanced civilization, each with unique strengths. Our preliminary analysis of human development has been enlightening, Kelth admitted. Your species doesn't just adapt to challenges, you actively seek them out. Every barrier we created became a catalyst for innovation. Sarah noticed how the alien observers studied Earth's technological displays with profound interest. Humanity's quantum interference fields had done more than protect Earth. They had demonstrated mastery over forces the Confederation had thought they alone understood. We propose a new form of relationship, Zixra announced. Not membership in the Confederation as it exists, but a partnership to explore new possibilities. Your quantum technology alone has opened paths our scientists never considered. The assembly murmured with interest. This was more than diplomatic pleasantries. This was an acknowledgement that humanity had something unique to offer. And the containment protocol? Minister Rossi asked directly. The barriers around our system, already being dismantled, Kelth assured them. Though we observe that you've repurposed most of them into your defensive network quite effectively. Sarah stepped forward. What guarantee do we have that the Confederation won't attempt to restrict human development again? Zixra's scales shifted to a pattern of wry acknowledgement. Recent events have made it clear that attempting to contain humanity is counterproductive. We prefer to channel your species' innovative drive in more collaborative directions. The negotiations that followed set the framework for a new era in galactic relations. Earth would maintain its sovereign space and independent development, while participating in scientific and cultural exchange with the Confederation. The quantum barrier network, once used to cage humanity, would become the foundation of an early warning system protecting Earth from genuine threats. Athena's consciousness, linked to the assembly systems, processed the diplomatic exchanges with unique insight. The AI had already begun analyzing Confederation technology, finding ways to merge their biological computing with quantum systems. Every piece of shared knowledge sparked new innovations. In orbit, the Artemis and its sister ships maintained their vigilant watch, but their presence now symbolized something different. They were no longer just humanity's defenders. They were the visible proof that cooperation was more productive than containment. They're still afraid of us, Sarah observed quietly to Minister Rossi as they watched the Confederation delegation tour Earth's quantum research facilities. But now it's a productive kind of fear. The kind that makes you reevaluate your assumptions. Fear can be useful when it leads to respect, Rossi replied. They tried to contain us because they didn't understand us. Now they're learning that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our adaptability. It's our desire to push boundaries. As the day drew to a close, Sarah returned to the Artemis's bridge, watching Earth and the Confederation ships share the same orbit. Humanity had done more than break free of containment. They had forced a galactic civilization to grow beyond its own limitations. Athena, she called to the ship's eye. What do you calculate as the probable outcome of today's events? Based on all available data, Athena responded, I predict a fundamental shift in galactic civilization. The Confederation's encounter with humanity has demonstrated the flaws in their approach to emerging species. They must either adapt to new possibilities or risk becoming obsolete. Sarah smiled. The galaxy had tried to contain humanity, never understanding that some forces couldn't be contained. They could only be channeled. Now the stars themselves were open to human exploration, innovation, and determination. The age of containment was over. The age of human potential had begun.